Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Tabby Loves. I'm Tabitha and I talk to you about the things that I love. Today we are going to be doing another writing vlog. But this writing vlog we actually have a goal. Because I'm writing a short story for one of Readsy's short story contests. And it is due today, at the end of the day today. And I still have to go through and finish editing it. Because it needs editing. Because right now it's kind of trash. So yeah, we are going to get into all of that. You're going to watch me finish and talk through this short story. Okay, so I have 14 hours to finish writing my short story, which technically more than enough time. My biggest problem as a writer is I am a slow writer. I don't know, like there's just something about writing that I really take my time with doing, but so doing this short story contest has been actually really good for me because I've been forced to create a story within the span of a week. And the contest I'm specifically submitting to is the Everyday Enchantment contest. And it's because there was actually several prompts in this contest that interest me and that like kind of like I already like just reading the prompts had like a few stories immediately pop into mind, which is why I decided to finally do it. I've been wanting to enter one of these short story contests for a while, but I've just never had the, I don't know if motivation is the right word, but I'm going to use motivation. I've never had the motivation to actually finish a short story in time to submit it for one of these contests. Usually it's just like I ended up focusing on the book I'm writing over writing short story. So I decided to switch it up and I was working on both my book and the short story over the course of this week. The short story is written but needs edited, like I said. But it's only like 3 pages right now. And it might be a little bit longer by the time I finish editing it. I'm trying to get it just past 1,000 pages. Because that's, I think, the minimum, I think, for the short story contest. I'm trying to see where it says. Oh yeah, submissions must be between 1,000 and 3,000 words. But yeah. So the prompt that ended up picking was write a story from the point of view of a magical being or creature. And again, I thought of several options for this. And I was debating between this one and your protagonist has stepped into a shop that weaves magic into its wares. What happens next? Both of those two really interest me. But I ended up going with the magical being one. And then I had several options for that too. I really like fairies. So I thought about writing one from a fairy. Like maybe like a small fairy living in someone's house or living in like a store or something. But I actually ended up going with a mermaid. Not only because, so I'm currently reading When the Tides Held the Moon, and have just been in a general mermaid mood. So I was like, you know what, yeah, let's write a short story about a mermaid. And so what I have come up with is I have a short story about a mermaid named Clarissa. And she is a mermaid that makes jewelry. And she's like super popular in her the place where her shop is set up, and she is on a mission to find new seashells for her next launch, and she happens to come across trash left in the ocean by a boat up above, and when she goes and confronts the boat about it, it's full of like 3 drunk awful men who do nothing but kind of like insult her and disrespect her. And so she is like, okay, and goes down to the deep and talks to her friend, a kraken, to go up and destroy their boat. That is like the entire like arc of the short story, which I'm telling you this because by the time this video is out, this story would have already been published. Like I already would have uploaded it onto Readsy. So yeah. I will probably put a link down below if you're curious, like directly to my story, so you can read it if you want. But yeah, but we are going to edit this. We are going to bang it out until it's something that I'm actually happy with submitting, and we'll go from there. Anyway, let's get started. a couple days ago. It was very simple, very much a basis. So basically what I'm doing as I'm going through and editing the story is I'm adding depth to it. I'm adding more of a character to it, and I'm making the events that I had originally wrote out make sense. Because, again, when I first wrote out this story, it was just very bare bones. This happens, then this happens, then this happens. Without, like, really that much meaning to it. Like, there was kind of a shape of meaning, but it wasn't very, like, well established. So I am going through and making it not only better established, but making sure the character has personality. Which I think I am so used to writing my book, which is a lot longer than 1,000 to 3,000 words. Like, there's actually a prologue I had originally written for my book that I decided to take out because I ended up realizing it was unnecessary and it was a different mood than, like, literally the rest of the book. But I want to reuse it for a short story one day, potentially. But it is over 3,000 words, and that's just a prologue. So, you know, I'm trying to find a good in-between here. I'm at a part where she is just about to confront the men, and I already know that I am not happy with the way this confrontation came out when I wrote it down the first time, so I am ready to edit the fuck out of it to make it into something that I am a lot happier with. Yes, that is where I'm at right now. And I'm trying to make sure Clarissa has an actual personality. Also, the name Clarissa just came to me. I even tried to find a different ocean name, and I almost named her something else, but there's just something about the name Clarissa that I just think fits her so much better than anything else I could have had her do. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna continue. I want her to actually be talking to these guys, or if I want it to be like she overhears them just being shitty and knows what's up. Because, like, I don't know if I really want, like, I want the merfolk, they know the humans exist, but I don't know if they want humans to know that they exist. And how I approach this decides that in the world, whether or not humans know mermaids exist or not. So, I mean, obviously we know they, like, we know that the stories of them exist. So, like, these guys would still maybe recognize her for what she is, but not at first, unless I write it that way. But I don't know. I don't know which one would be better. Ooh, it's these kind of things always get me stuck, which is why I'm a slow writer. Because usually, I would close my laptop and be like, you know what, I'll figure this out later. But I don't have a lot of time to figure this out later, so I guess I have to figure this out now. We'll see. We'll play this by ear for a second. I finished this round of revisions. I did decide to have it so she doesn't speak to them, but she does start, like, basically collecting the trash that they're throwing overboard and putting it back on the ship. And she ends up getting caught because she laughs at them. And when they see her, she's like, well, nothing I can do about it now. And that's when she gets the Kraken and is like, look, they saw me, so they can't make it back to shore. Do your worst. And he does. And I changed the ending a little bit because originally I had the ending where while their boat was being ripped apart, she finds the seashell she was looking for. But I changed it so that instead she ends up using not only the bottles that went overboard because of those ship being ripped apart, but also little pieces of metal from the ship that she took those to make for her next jewelry launch as like statement pieces for the merfolk. Which I love that change. I think the only thing I need to do now is go through it and make sure all of the like terminology I used is the same. Because I couldn't remember if I was calling them land walkers or land dwellers. And then I was like, well, mermaids wouldn't know what walking is, so maybe I should call them land swimmers. And so I changed it like 3 times during the course of this short story. So let me fix that, and then we were going to look at our our word count and see if it's within the limits for the contest, and then I might be done. Oh, this is so exciting! Oh, okay. Let me do another run through. All right, you guys. I finished doing a little run through. I did change all of this. I think I called them land walkers. I did change all of those to land swimmers because, again, I don't think a mermaid would actually know what walking was. They wouldn't have a word for that because they don't walk. So land swimmers, right? And I changed it like as I was going through. I realized there were some areas where I accidentally switched because I was writing it in third person. But there was a few times where I accidentally switched into first person and said I instead of she. And then while I was changing that, I was also like, you know what? Let's add a little bit more variety to the she, her kind of third person style. And I changed some of the she's to the mermaid so that it's a little bit more of a variety. And I think I'm happy with it. So let's see. It is time for us to see how where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, let's see how many words my short story is and if it's within the range I need it to be. It is 1,386 words. That is less than 3,000 but more than 1,000, and if I do say so myself, that is more than 600 words. More than what the story started out as. So, oh my god, I think it's ready. It's ready to be turned in, I guess you could say. Okay. I'm gonna submit it. I've done it. My story is submitted, and I did end up submitting it to the contest. I did end up doing that. Honestly, it's because submitting it to the contest is only $5. So I thought, might as well. I definitely want to do more short stories. I probably won't submit every single one of them to the contests either, but I do want to write some of them just for fun, and probably do them for like free on my profile sort of thing. Like I said, I will leave a link to my short story in the description below, so go ahead and check that out if you're curious, if you want to read some of my writing. I know there's probably like a very small chance that I'll get very high in this contest, especially me kind of submitting it kind of late, but we'll see. Maybe I'll get lucky, maybe they'll really like it, but even if I don't get anything from this contest, I do hope that other people will read it and enjoy it. Oh my god, this is like my first time actually sharing any actual stories that I've written that are fiction on Reedsy. So yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, feel free to let me set you up. Sorry. Hello, hi. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I also do reading content. I actually do reading content more often than I do writing content, so feel free to subscribe for that. And comment down below if you go and read my story and what you think of it. Or comment down below if you also write short stories or anything like that. Any tips you have for writing short stories, some of your favorite short stories, all of that nonsense. Put it down in the comments below. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you guys. Goodbye.